Hello everyone, welcome to another New Year's video. I thought it'd be really fun if we pulled some cards together to see what guidance we have for this new year that we're about to begin. So let's dive in. One of my favourite ways to pull cards is to use different card decks all in one go. I feel like it gives me different perspectives on the same situation, so it kind of gives a deeper message overall. So for the first deck that I'm using my Sacred Soul Searching deck, one of my mini decks, which is available on my site. I'll give you a link in the description box below. But I love using the mini cards in readings with big tarot cards. The second deck that I'm using is the Muse Tarot by Chris-Anne Donnelly, and I absolutely love this deck. The artwork is so beautiful. I feel as though you can read quite intuitively just from the artwork itself. So if you've not seen this before, please check it out. It's a beautiful deck. And the third deck I'm using, which is one of my all-time favourites, it's the Wild Unknown Tarot. This is just such a deep, soul-connecting deck. I feel like it really speaks to my soul anyway. So these are our three decks. So let's dive in with what guidance they have for us. So as I said before, I love to use the different decks all together in one reading, and what I'm going to do is see how they play out together, so see what story they tell overall. So here's our first card, and it is Inner Compass. So here we're being asked to tap into our emotions this year as the new year comes in. You want to really listen to how you feel. Remember that our emotions are our inner guidance system, and they are always telling you the truth, so don't ignore it. The second card that's showing up for us is Shedding. Now this is perfect as well because it's basically telling us to get rid of all the old, outdated rhythms, habits, all the things that aren't really, propelling our life forwards in the direction we want to go. So anything that's not serving you, it's time to let go of it, leave it behind so that you can make space for new, exciting things in your life. So the next card, here we move into the tarot cards. This is the Seven of Emotions. And the first thing you notice is the emotions are showing up again. So really need to pay attention to that. Now you see here that our girl is staring down at all these little fish. So she's looking at all the options that she has in front of her, really pondering and realizing that she could do many things. She could go in many directions. But I think here we're just being highlighted that you need to pick the thing that's most aligned. Remember, linking back to our emotions, which direction are you being told to go in? What's your emotional guidance system telling you? So don't just pick any old thing. What feels most aligned to you? And our last card is the Fool. What a perfect card. This card is all about new beginnings. It's about taking a leap of faith, starting a new adventure. So if we link all of these together, we can see here that there are things opening up for us. We need to let go of the old things in order to welcome in the new. But at the same time, really listen to how you feel, not what you think, not what you think you should be doing, but really how you feel, your inner compass. What is it you really feel? And choose the most aligned option. It's time to be true to yourself. We've had enough of just living by and ticking over. It's time to really step up. So this has been a really, really exciting reading, I think, as we step into the new year. And it really almost feels like it gives us permission to start something new, start something fresh, and, clear away 2020 and all the old energy of what we've had. So I've also pulled some cards from the questions deck just to go deeper. So if you grab your deck, we've got some questions here. So how can I deepen my daily spiritual practice? These are going to be great as we step into the new year, thinking about new habits and things that we want to create for ourselves. So how can I learn to better ride the ups and downs of life? Again, this is going to be great, helping us navigate our way forwards. And in a world full of unknowns, what is my next move? This can be really helpful, especially when we link back to our choices. And if we're not really sure which choice to make, sometimes ask the cards and see what they say. And of course, a message from my higher self, or from your spirit guides, or from the universe. Sometimes just asking for an extra message will highlight something that we may not have thought of before, we may not have thought to ask about. So we can sometimes end up with a surprise message. And I thought, just for fun, I'll pull a card from my wild encouragement cards. So I all feel like we need some encouragement as we start the new year. So let's see what card they have for us. And it's perfect. The wish card. Get excited and make a wish. Ask the universe. So this is the perfect time at the beginning of a new year, setting new goals. Let's make a wish for ourselves, let's create a better future for ourselves. So what do you wish for? It's time to really ask yourself on a soul level, what do you wish for? What do you want to create in your life? Okay, now is the time to really... So I am creating a printable version of all these questions for you on my Patreon page. If you are a patron, you will get this as part of one of the tiers on there. But I thought now it would be great if we grab our journals and do some journaling together. And this is such a great way to really solidify all the energies that's been coming through. So from our initial card reading, I'm creating a full spread in my journal. And I love to use art journals for this, just because I really love to use artwork as part of my written journaling. So here I'm just creating a really easy, quick, fluid background. I've kind of sketched out a little motif just to decorate the page first. So just in pencil line, it is just a guideline. And then I'm using my watercolour pigments here just to create a really beautiful, colourful wash. As you can see, it's not perfect, it's quite splodgy, but I love that effect that you get with watercolours where the colours just sort of seep and melt across the page. So once I've let that dry, I'm then going back in with my black fine liner pen, and I'm just going over some of these lines that I drew in first of all. And once I've created this first big motif, I'm then adding in all my writing. So this is all the things from our initial card reading with the tarot cards and the oracle cards. So what speaks to my heart from this reading, I made some notes and jotted them down, and this is something that I want to be able to refer back to as we head through our year. I want to be able to remember the energy of that reading. So there's some useful notes here and encouragement that I've written down for myself on my own personal journey. I've also filled the page out with extra doodles just because it pulls it together well. I always love doing my black starry sky nights in the background, and I feel like adding that really dark colour just adds an extra bit of depth. Adding black and white to any coloured image always adds that extra bit of depth and it makes it feel finished. So here I'm just adding the final few details in, and I don't like the full moon that I've already created, so I'm just adding in a sticker of a full moon instead. So as you can see, I just pulled out one of my printable stickers, I've cut it out, and I'm just going to stick it in over the circular motif that I already drew out, and I think it looks much prettier. So if you can find a moon sticker, then I'm a big fan of just going with what looks really pretty and what brings your vision to life. You don't have to create all the artwork in your journal yourself. So this is my finished spread, and I have just added in little notes, and you see some of the text is big and some is small, but I'm just bringing together the overall vibe from our reading that we created earlier. So I really want to be able to refer back to this as we head through our year. So I feel like that page is finished, and there's one more page that I want to create. Now, I really loved these card pull prompts from earlier, but I feel like I'm going to use my deck with them later and probably use these in a written journal just so I can dive deeper. So I don't particularly need to create something visual. But this wish card, I've had a great idea of how I want to create a visual page in my journal and then really make my wishes for this new year special. So again, I'm doing the same thing I did before, just going in with my pencil, just drawing out some guidelines and just kind of getting to grips with the composition or the layout of my page. So yeah, I'm just drawing out some motifs, and I love the idea of this make-a-wish. So I've got a wishing star that's sweeping its way over the top of what is a piece of paper, really. So I'm going in with this ochre colour to make it look like an ancient parchment, so it looks almost like a really precious old document. So that's the feel that I'm going for, and this is where I'm going to write all my wishes and write all the things to myself or from my soul that I really want to bring into the new year. So again, I've got my black fine line pen. I'm just going over all of my little motifs and then drawing around the page as well. So it's just adding in extra details. And obviously I can't resist doing my black starry night sky. So that's going to take me a little while, but that's what I'm doing around the edges of the piece of paper. And again, it almost feels like I'm saying these wishes to the universe. So that's the feeling that I want to portray in this journal spread. So I've decided I'm going to draw out some lines to give myself a little guide, so I feel like I can just keep writing and writing. But I'm going to write Dear Universe, and then the idea is with this that I am speaking my wishes to the universe. I'm writing them down, and as I write them down, I'm setting that deep intention, putting them into words so that they can be heard and treasured. And this is something, you know, about being honest with myself from the depths of my soul. So I've created this printable because I absolutely loved the page that I created here. So all these printables will be available on my Patreon page so that you too can create your own wishes for the universe. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video. Wishing you the most happiest of New Year's, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.